All right, we're up. We're live. Emergency podcast here. Miss big news. Big news at a college station. Our national nightmare is over. Jimbo Fisher getting fired, according to Billy Lucci. He's the first one, always on top of the A&M stories. Let's see what old Billy's got to say here. This literally just broke. So excited. And, okay, according to Billy Lucci, breaking per multiple sources, Texas A&M set to part ways with Jimbo Fisher as early as today. Decision was reached at the recommendation of the Athletic Department University during last Thursday's Board of Regents meeting. And yes, it is 8:40 in the morning where I am, but it's never too early to celebrate good news. So who we getting? This is real. This is real. I don't think he's been fired yet, but according to Billy Lucci, it's coming as early as today, he says. So as soon as stuff like this leaks out, it's imminent. Do not expect Jimbo Fisher. He may finish out the season, but I don't know why. I think you just go on with an interim at this point in time. But man, we got Mizzou fans riling in. Good for them. Hey, remember I picked you. I was the one on the show that picked you. Dan Lanning? I don't think I'd hire Dan Lanning. I really wouldn't. I think I got the perfect hire. And it's not going to make sense as soon as I say it. But A&M is one of these schools that can pull this off. I really do think. I think the perfect hire, and it's going to take what A&M can deliver, like no one else, money, security, championships. But I'd go up to Jeff Brom at Louisville. Yes, I know he's a Louisville grad. Who cares? ACC is a sinking ship. All their premier teams, as soon as Florida State and Clemson leave, whenever that is, that league is done. Louisville, as good as he's doing at Louisville, you're never going to win a national championship. I'd tell Jeff Brom you can win multiple national championships at A&M. Pay him double what they were paying Jimbo. He'll be down there in a heartbeat. A&M will be good at next season. Look what he just did to Louisville. Have we seen him at years at Purdue? He beat Tennessee in a bowl game. He's a hell of a coach, Jeff Brom. That'd be the guy I'd go after. These fans are fired up. Free of Jimbo, says Cole. People think they're going after Elko. Elko, I mean, he's a good solid coach. Can you win with Elko? What has Elko won? He's a good coach, though. This is not April Fool's. People are not believing me. This is true. I'm going to throw this up here. This is the preeminent A&M source here, Mr. Billy Lucci's, friend of the show, uploading his tweet now. Unless I'm getting hoaxed here. Wouldn't that be funny if I was getting hoaxed and I just did a damn live show? This is Billy Lucci right here. They're probably doing emergency stuff on their end as well. I mean, what a damn day. Ross Dellinger also, A&M moving closer to a decision on firing Jimbo, according to Ross Dellinger. But, obviously I trust Billy more than anybody when it comes to Texas A&M. Brett McMurphy also saying, he's hearing the same. So the buyout's going to be around 70, 80 million. Oh, my God. Who cares? We're not focusing on the buyout. We're focusing on being a winning program again at Texas A&M, and we just took one massive step to getting that done. And I do appreciate the fact that they Coach Odom, they won their biggest win of the season, statistically, I guess you could say. I mean, it's not like it was a good win, but you get that big win, they're like, oh, God, we can't have momentum here. Fire his ass. They did the same thing, Coach O, trying to think of who they beat, but they beat the hell out of somebody, and they fired Coach O immediately. It was Florida. That's right, Florida. They beat Florida in the swamp, I believe. So, yeah, this is real. Glenn Schumann. Now, Glenn Schumann, nothing wrong with Glenn Schumann. Cole's asking. Should be the top target. And I don't care. I know it's worked for Kirby. He's an outlier. Never would I hire a guy when the expectation is to win a championships to hire a guy that's never led a program? He may be the next Kirby Smart for all I know, but nobody knows. And there's growing pains. And at A&M, you're not firing a guy, paying him $80 million to bring in a Glenn Schumann to be like, okay, you can learn on the job for 2 or 3. That's not what next year A&M needs to be a title contender. And if you hire an elite coach with that roster, they are. As crazy as that sounds, you can turn around a program immediately with a really good coach. Texas A&M coach Brian Ferentz. That'd be good. No, this is not a joke. Warning, I just went live as soon as I saw it from Billy Lucci. So maybe this has not made the rounds yet, but Jimbo getting fired. And thank God, because now A&M's going to be relevant in football again. No idea who they're going to go. Lane Kiffin would be hilarious, especially after that big loss. But Bobby Petrino, it will not be Bobby Petrino. He may be interim, but I do SEC retread. I don't think so. Not for A&M. Not with Texas rolling. You got to hire a competent coach here with Texas coming in. Oh, I'm just so happy. I'm drinking a Corona at 8:50 in the morning. Should we go down the power? I haven't even done the power rankings. I got so tired last night that let me break that down real quick. I'm going to upload the little image here, but I'm just so excited. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm just excited for Texas A&M fans is who I'm really excited about. They're going to be relevant here in a minute. They're probably going to win there's no more SEC West after this, but they'll probably make the next SEC championship game if they hire a competent coach with that roster. But here's my updated power rankings. Let's go over these real quick. Vanderbilt 16. They're awful. Mississippi State, they're damn near as awful. They're so bad. A&M beat them by 50 points. They turned around and said, "You're fired, Jimbo." That was not enough. Arkansas, god awful, number 14. What a putrid showing. I'm Sam Pittman's biggest fan, but when you lose by that margin at home, that's when you get fired. So I would not be stunned if at this point they fire him. I don't want that to happen, but would not be stunned. South Carolina 13. Auburn 12. You're heating up at the right time, beating the hell out of all these lesser than pro. Auburn's catching fire. They're going to win next week, be on a 4-game winning streak heading into the Iron Bowl. Florida 11. I know they just ran wild on you, but I think that says more about LSU and Jane Daniels than it does your defense. So no movement there. Kentucky 10. You got embarrassed, but that was expected. A&M 9. No movement. Tennessee, I dropped you. That was pathetic on the road. Should have gave up more of a fight, but Missouri's awesome. I've been trying to tell y'all guys, Missouri's awesome. Oklahoma 7. Their quarterback scored 8 touchdowns last weekend. That was impressive. Texas, treading water. They damn near lost to TCU. TCU's awful. LSU, I think I dropped. I can't remember, but LSU offense, same story. Offense best in the country. Defense worst in the country. Ole Miss 4 dropped you a couple spots after getting your pants in Athens. Bama moved you up to 3. Mizzou, how can you not be impressed by Mizzou? Just one hell of a team. And all of us, last week looks even better for them now because they're the only team that held their own against Georgia in Athens, nonetheless. So Mizzou's elite. Georgia's the elite of the country, no doubt. So there's the updated power rankings. Sorry I didn't do it last night. I was just dead tired. Had too many. But the real story is Jimbo. Jimbo gone. That just sounds good coming out of my mouth here. Jimbo Fisher. Let's see. Has he been, I don't know if it's been official yet since I've been yapping here, but I'm just so excited. Just running the possibilities in my head. It ain't going to be Dan Mullen. It's not going to be any of these jokers. I don't think Mike Elko's a joker by any, I mean, that could be the hire I just don't know. I don't know what the guy's done aside from resurrect an awful pro, which is good. That's good for art. He would be an elite coach for like Arkansas. I don't know if he's elite for A&M. Yep, still got the minis. These are Shane's minis. I don't really drink these, to be honest with you, but I'm just so excited. I just grabbed what was ever in the fridge here. Do I think they'll actually fire Sam if they get their boat race by Mizzou and lose to FIU? Yeah. No, if they beat FIU, if they give Mizzou a game, maybe not. I don't know. That was just embarrassing. You just you can't get your ass kicked like that at home, like they did. Auburn is improving, but they're not even that good, and you just got destroyed. Florida, we would gladly take Jimbo. Honestly, I think Billy Napier is better than Jimbo. I truly do. I think you're in better hands. Jim McElwain. No. We're doing the retreads again. It will not be a retread. I can get, you don't spend $80 million to hire some average ass coach like Jim McElwain. Yeah. I mean, I'd fire Ross Bjork too. I mean, he's responsible. He's the one that gave Jimbo this guaranteed deal. And I know he hired a basketball coach, but we don't care about that. This is football. Where's Shane? Shane's working. Shane has a job, unlike me. This is my job. Benjamin says, I think they found someone if they're spending that kind of cash. That's kind of, well, in theory, I agree. But again, I don't believe in Ross Bjork to do anything competent. So I do not agree. I don't think he's done that yet. Now, maybe the president, I don't know. Maybe someone else has done it. Perhaps backdoor. Can we get Saban? Saban to College Station? Can we get that going? Man, I'm just so excited. What else we got here? Lane Kiffin disappoints me every time. Well, we call him Lane Whiffen for a reason there. I heard someone, and I don't think it's accurate, but they said I think it was Dan Woken. I should never quote Dan Woken on this show, but I think he said there's a good chance Ole Miss does not finish with a top 25 win. I don't think that's true because LSU and Tulane, but it's a funny comment to say. Imagine winning 10 games and not having a top 25 win. I don't think that would be, I don't think that will happen. Wouldn't it be the most Lane Kiffin thing ever, though, to take his A&M job? It would piss off the Aggies. It'd piss off Ole Miss. Urban Meyer. I mean, we may be at that point. Maybe they have got Urban Meyer. I mean, he'd take that job. I'd have to think. Well, I hate Urban Meyer. I will never compliment him on this show. As you guys have noticed, I don't compliment Hugh Freeze either. But, we cover him, so I try to be just not bash him while we're doing it. But if A&M hired Urban Meyer, they'll win a national championship. But there'll probably be a scandal or 3. So I would not hire him. Shane was my server at Waffle House just now. Gave him a 10% tip. That's from Patrick. That's the best comment so far of this live show. Dan Lanning. People want Dan Lanning at A&M. Again, he's proven. I mean, he's been just a coach for 2 years now, right? But he has cost them some games. I don't know why everybody's so excited about Dan Lanning. What has he won? Nothing to my knowledge. I mean, he may win big, but he needs more time, I think. He's going through those learning pains. When people say, well, A&M will hire Schumann. I mean, not that it'll be identical, but they'll be learning. You're not spending $80 million to have someone come in and learn on the job. Gene Chizik, Barry Odom would make him a winner. Barry Odom, I think, is a good coach. I don't know if he's doing well at UNLV. Stoops. Isn't it funny that Stoops makes $8.5 million a year to do what he does at Kentucky? No one's ever going to give him that money. He needs to stay at Kentucky forever and win 7-8 games. Leipold at Kansas? Maybe. Yeah. I appreciate you. Yeah. I go live when the situation calls for it. Here's the thing. So I don't know how to say your name. Fresh from Beham. The coaching market is trash right now. That's what you think, that there's no guys out there, but that's just assuming that someone's not going to leave their job for A&M. And again, A&M with the right coach is top 10 program. That you bet your ass there's a lot of coaches I bet would leave their program today for A&M. And we just don't know who those guys are right now. And I have no idea, but it's going to happen. I mean, even Jimbo, I know they had that back worked for a while, but he was the first coach, I believe, to leave a job where he had won a national championship and not get fired, but he left it willingly for another job since like Johnny Majors. And he won a national championship at Pitt in the 70s, I think it was, and came to Tennessee. I mean, that's how rare that is, but A&M's a big-time job. Got to know why you don't like Hugh Freeze. Really? Google Hugh Freeze. I mean, there's many reasons. I can't believe anybody likes Hugh Freeze. Did the last 20 years not happen? I believe they did. So, this is not the forum for that, but maybe in the off season. Les Miles, he's out there. That's true. Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh will be suspended before he coached the first game, probably. Eddie O, Coach O's out there. Yep. He's won a lot of games against A&M. The best offensive coordinator. I don't think so. Bill Belichick, maybe? I already gave you my top. Brom, go get him. Louisville, ACC's a sinking ship. Yeah, how about Cody Schrader? I've been doubting him all year. This man does not know how to spell his name, but he still believes him to be a top 3 running back, and I've come around to that. He is elite. He's SEC Offensive Player of the Week caliber, at least before Jane Daniels went insane. Maybe might have to give him Offensive Player of the Week. Top 3, no doubt. Do you think that the SEC would let Urban Meyer back? That's a fair question. I don't think they can truthfully say no. Now, they can strongly advise it, as they have done before, and then they deny that they've done that, but they cannot prevent A&M from, unless, to my knowledge, Urban's not suspended by the NCAA or anything at this moment. Dan Campbell. Isn't he doing well with the Lions? I don't know if he'd leave. I know he's an A&M man. Dion. How about Dion? Oh, yeah, the wheels are coming off just in time for A&M to hire Dion. That'd be a funny hire. I don't hate it. But again, I don't... that'd be interesting. That's about the only thing I can come up with interesting. I don't know if he can win big. He'd get some elite talent down there, but they already got elite talent. That's not the problem. Dion, I think, is suited for a school that can't recruit that well, because he's a recruiter. Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly wants no part of the SEC. He has made that known. He likes it in UCLA, where they don't really care about football and they don't even notice if he wins or loses. That's perfect for Chip Kelly. He ain't coming. This Washington coach, Caleb DeBoer, that'd be a hell of a hire if you can get him. I don't think he's got any SEC. I know he doesn't. He's from the Northwest, I believe. Turkey's done with Joe Milton. So many yards left on the table. I feel you, because I've been making the jokes too in my friend groups here, but Joe Milton didn't cost Tennessee that game. That damn defense did. Defense was awful for Tennessee. Dabo, I could see Dabo. Dabo to, I don't think I would hire Dabo if I'm A&M, but he's better than Jimbo. Yep, just because you're the old defensive coordinator doesn't mean you're the future head coach, though. I don't even know what this... Mizzou at 2. You use that wrong. A certified clown. You need to be working, not on here, making a fool of yourself. Feinbaum's little nephew. What? Does any of that make sense, Alex? Alex seems very well educated. I can tell you that. Yeah, Dabo. Yeah, Dabo. To hell with Dabo. Doesn't do portal. Doesn't do NIL. You can't win in modern college football like that. They'll never do anything again unless he changes his ways there. Cousin Shane, the next coach at Texas A&M, he's on the plane to College Station. That's a good one. Chris Peterson, he ain't coming. He ain't coming to the SEC. Mel Tucker, he's available. It will not be Mel Tucker. Dorkowitz, I mean, he's a hell of a lot better than Jimbo. Mike Bobo. You guys are getting off the rails. How many have you been drinking? Arkansas fans want me to announce Pittman's been fired. Not true. How is Cousin Shane doing? He's in a bad way. I'll be honest with you. He is in a bad way. He didn't even want me to do that live show last night because he didn't want to participate. Okay, according to Ross Dellinger, latest, A&M expected to inform Coach Jimbo Fisher this morning that they are firing him. The decision has been made. And I'm seeing a lot of Aggies. They want Dan Lanning. It's who everybody wants. Dan Lanning. Okay. I think you could do a hell of a lot better than Dan Lanning. Call me crazy. Most people do. Give me Beamer. It will not be Shade Beamer, I don't think. Schumann. UGA on upset alert again. Trap game this week. Already locked up the East. Nothing to play for. I'm trying to talk my way into this, but no, they're gonna kill. Ole Miss, I thought would give them a game. I really did. Shows you how much I know. Not shit. What else? Can you believe Florida gave up most yards ever? That's crazy. That's crazy. I wonder if I played a part. If anyone saw this, I'm going to throw up a little graphic here. Leading up to that Mississippi State game, Jimbo Fisher said, "This is the best 5-4 team in the country." Which I made Jimbo a little graphic here. I don't know if you guys remember this, but he was given a national championship trophy when he got to A&M. They gave him a little mock national championship to fill in later the date after the Aggies win it all. So I updated it for him here. Jimbo, best 5-4 team in the country. Ooh, best 6-4 now. That's true. I got to update that trophy. Give it to Jimbo on his way out the door. Will Billy Napier be gone next year? I mean, he'll be back for next year. I don't know if you're asking, will he be fired next year? I mean, I think there's a chance. There is a chance. Not great. He's a good recruiter. Changes need to be made. Offensive coordinator. Special teams are awful. Defense now is awful. Could Kirby Smart coach 2 teams? That's something Saban's never done. Maybe he can prove it. He can be the best of all time. Where's Big Orange Balls? He's working. It's balls, not balls, but I think I say balls just on the show here. Mike, tell Florida they need to fire that. Yeah, I mean, you gotta make sure you got someone in charge. Will Beamer be fired next? Or Beamer's not getting fired. I don't know why anyone thinks that. Arnett is next to be fired. I think they fired him last night. Kind of like they're saying Jimbo technically got fired on Thursday. I'm sure there was a call. Mississippi State called up their 100,000 I don't know if they got millionaire boosters at Mississippi State, but I'm sure they got 100,000 makers that are boosters down there, and they're raising the funds right now to get Zach Arnett out of there. He's got a very low buyout, too. Is Lane going to A&M? He may. He may. After that performance. Old Lane Whiffet. Oh, my God. What an awful show in there. Awful. Do you think Coach Smart ever leaves Georgia? I think the only way he would leave is the NFL. And he doesn't seem like an NFL guy to me. So I guess the answer is no. But who knows? Here's the weird thing about Kirby. I mean, this is the SEC. Georgia's got this taste of success now, right? They're probably going to win 3 in a row. If and when, and this big if, but if they drop off to like 10-2, I mean, they're going to put his ass on the hot seat. They're going to Mark Richt him. So how long before? So I'm not saying that's going to happen. Hell, it's never happened to Saban. So it may not happen to Kirby. And I think Kirby's doing better than even Nick Saban. I mean, Saban's the best of all time. He's got if he stays for 20 years like Saban, I think he'll break most of his records. But will he do that? I don't know. You're making so much money. Imagine leaving after how long's Kirby been there? I think like 8 years or something like that. Imagine leaving after 12 years and like 6 championships. I mean, you would just be known as a legend forever. And he'd have $200 million in the bank. Wouldn't have to recruit anymore. I don't know. I don't know. But he's wired different. So maybe he just stays forever. I don't know. John Gruden to A&M. That'd be great. He's available, I believe. They can get him at a discount. Cadillac beat Jimbo with a worse roster. That was the day they should have fired Jimbo. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. That was awful. Dabo's the perfect fit for the Aggies. He may be, but he's got to embrace NIL. He's got to embrace the transfer portal. I think. These Georgia fans don't like the truth. It's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I pitched Saban. Muschamp to A&M. That'd be a hell of a hire. No idea who the hire is going to be, by the way, but everybody's wanting Dan Lanning, which tells me it's not going to be Dan Lanning. It's never that simple. It never goes that way. Here's what's going to happen. Dan Lanning will get a big raise from Nike/Oregon, and he'll stay up there. That's what's going to happen. And there'll be reports. Dan Lanning, top target. Then he'll get a contract extension fairly soon after. So I don't think it'll be Dan Lanning. I really don't. Is this the highest payout in history? It is. I don't even think it's close. I think the next closest, is Gus Malzahn at around $38, $40 million. And Jimbo's is north of 70. I think it's closer to 80 million. Do you think Drink or Leipold is in danger of being poached? I do think Drink. Here's one thing. I don't know if I ever shared this on the show, but last year, Drink, he was hoping to have a big year and get the Auburn job because he knew Harsin was going to get fired. Now, Missouri was awful. Well, not awful, but they certainly looked awful when they played Auburn. I don't know if Missouri fans remember that game, but it was overtime, and the running back, Pete, dropped the ball as he was scoring a touchdown and made it a turnover. They were just awful. So he could not capitalize on that. So he has looked around before. If A&M offered him, yeah, he'd take it. He'd take it in a heartbeat. Because you can win a national championship down there. But I don't know if he's a candidate. I have no idea. No idea. I don't think you can say Drink is unproven at this point. I mean, he's several years coaching the SEC. What's unproven about that? He's 8-2 at Missouri. when I bet you this gentleman saying unproven, he sure as hell didn't have Missouri at 8-2. I think most of these diehard Mizzou fans didn't even. The only one was Cousin Shane, and he turned his back on Missouri this weekend for some damn reason. Here's George. This is a good question from George. Why don't these colleges put in the contracts that the head coach could be fired for poor performance without a huge buyout? Because of a man named Jimmy Sexton. And you can put that in there. Arkansas put that in there, and then they couldn't hire anybody. And that's why they have Sam Pittman, who's never been a head coach, never been a coordinator. I think he was a head coach at JUCO for like a year, like 30 years ago. You put that in there, Jimmy Sexton says, you can go to hell. You cannot speak to my clients. And he represents damn near everybody. And not only the head coaches, the assistants. You can't hire any of his assistants. So you could put that in there if you're Arkansas. But guess what? A&M doesn't have that in there. Auburn doesn't have that in there. Tennessee doesn't have it, on and on and on. So you put yourself at such a huge disadvantage if you put that in there because everybody else is not going to play along. Now, they would need everybody at the same time to basically go ahead and do that. But why would Alabama do that if it helps Arkansas, but it doesn't necessarily hurt Alabama? Does that make sense? Like you're not going to do something to help someone that you're competing against annually. Alabama doesn't mind paying this money. Georgia, A&M, I mean, I think they mind it right now, but no, that's why these positions are coveted, because you can make $100 million at a lot of these schools, and a lot of them you can't. So it's Jimmy Sexton is the short answer, and I gave you the long answer there, kind of. Mizzou has players now, that's true, but not A&M players, not even close. Now he's a hell of a lot better coach than Jimbo, and that's why they're 8-2, and Jimbo's 6-4 because he's awful. But can Drink win a national championship at Mizzou? Unlikely. Not impossible. In a 12-team format, he'd have a shot to prove it this year. I think at A&M, he'd have a shot every year. I think you can win at A&M. I know you can. We'll have to see if Cousin Shane even shows up. I think this Jimbo fired news will reinvigorate him, to say the least. Leipold can get poached. I mean, I don't know anything about the guy, but he seems to be one hell of a coach. I wouldn't mind that. He's a quality coach. That's what you need. I don't think you need flash. You just need someone that's a proven winner, can win with talent. He'd have so much talent. I don't think the SEC pays Jimmy Sexton anything. He makes enough. He makes it from the schools in all these deals. Shane's going to be elated. Dion to A&M. I don't know what else to say. You guys are cracking me up here. But Jimbo gone. That's the story. Oh, message board genius over at Texags. They're calling for Urban Meyer. Of course they are. Oh, what a glorious day. We're going to have more on this. We'll be going live again. Don't forget. Sunday. Well, it is Sunday. Apologize. I don't even know what day it is. I'm drinking at 9 a.m. over this terrific news that Jimbo's gone. But the plan's 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. Recap all these games. Get Cousin Shane's thoughts on the $75 million buyout that Texas A&M is about to hand over to Jimbo Fisher. It's official. It is official. Oh, and according to Carter Carls, he does a hell of a job. Gig him 247. We're going to have him on the show this week. I recently did his show last week and basically told him, they were making the case for why Jimbo should come back. I was like, this is ridiculous. Fire the guy, move on. Thankfully, they're doing it. But DJ Durkin, defensive coordinator, Elijah Robinson, James Coley, and Damian Craig, all signed extensions in the last 2 months. So we're going to have to spend even more to buy all those terrible contracts. Steve Adazio, Marquell Blackwell, and Bryant Gross Armento also have new contracts. So we're going to have to buy all these people out. Just horrible management. How in the hell can you be given contract extensions when your coach is the hottest seat in the country? This is ridiculous. But so this is going to cost them probably about $90 million to buy everybody out. And you just have to think, just think logically. I know logic does not always make sense in college football and College Station in particular, but you're spending $90 million to fire everybody. You better know who you're hiring. I think that's a safe assumption. And I have no idea who it is. Maybe it is Dan Lanning. Would I spend $90 million to hire Dan Lanning? I would not. But I would not have locked up Jimbo to a $100 million guaranteed deal either. And they did it. So can't wait to see what A&M does. But hey, this is a great day. This is a great day for SEC. This is a great day for college football. Jimbo Fisher out at A&M. I just could not be happier. A&M's going to be relevant again. This just made the league so much better. With Texas and Oklahoma, it feels like we're getting A&M too. A&M's they've been irrelevant. They've not been in the league in my mind the past couple of weeks. We're back, baby. We're back in college football. College Station, cannot wait for football to be great again in College Station. But hey, that's going to do it. Went a little long here. Jimbo Fisher fired, if you missed the news. And there's 3 good teams in the SEC. But that's all I got. We'll catch you tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central live show.